not, you know, what do you call this? We really cannot dismiss the we cannot really discredit Buriram United Esports is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're just really strong. Elevate, despite what being in the top 9 or top 10, they're still capable enough as a team, individually speaking. And yesterday, at the very least, they were able to put in a little bit of an effort, just being swayed up of a win because of our Rayquaza objective. And I think that is one of the key points that we have to take note of, that Elevate was having a bit of a hard time into closing out these battles, in closing out these matches. So I think this time around, if they can find a solution to that, if they can find the key to that success, then I think they have a chance to win up against BRU.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. And with that being said, Elevate now going to be starting off with a Psyduck, and now with the Mimikyu as well, and Tempest now hovering into that of the Snorlax, rather. And with that being said, that's going to be the final match here, where Buriram United Esports starting off very strongly with the Urshifu and of course the Umbreon. That is not to say that Psyduck, Snorlax is not good. They are really good. It's just that Buriram United Esports with these two Pokemon, man, they can steamroll over from the early game.
Yeah. So we'll see how the adjustments are going to be made here. But Buriram United Esports in a very good situation, actually picking up the Inteleon for such a first time in, I believe, this week.
And as I have mentioned earlier, this is one of the biggest thing that this Pokemon can provide, along with like Infinite Cyburn, Sableye, and Greedent Combat. With Azure Spy Vision, it's one of the Pokemon that can provide a lot of information for your team, especially on Rayquaza. That just means that you cannot, for whatsoever reason, stay on tall grass near the Rayquaza, because you're just going to be seen here by that of the Inteleon, and you're going to get snipe shot here by that Pokemon, and everyone else in your team would know where you are.
Yeah. And now, Elevate is just double downing onto that early game potential, right? They have the Leafeon, they have the Espeon, and even Mimikyu. If you're gonna consider Mimikyu, he's very strong even at level 4. Gonna go to the likes of the Shadow Claw route, because that's so far that has been one of the norms, that has been one of the patterns here, that Mimikyu has been always going in for the likes of the Shadow Claw. The second skill could be Trick Room, could still be going towards the Sneak. But so far, the damage aspect of Mimikyu has seen so much norm.
No, yeah.
In terms of like movesets.
I mean, like Shadow Claw definitely does provide more of a team-based composition advantage in terms of the team fight, because like before we see a lot of like play rough Shadow Sneak, definitely, right? But we have to remember, by its very nature, it's only a single targeted move in comparison to like Shadow Claw, which can be an AOE kind of ish clev. What do you call, like the what was the term here? It's a cleaving effect. There we go. Essentially, a kind of like move, and at the same time, Trick Room has a very huge radius for its attack, which can slow down opponents as well. So really, a very huge utility for the team that's going to use that as their Mimikyu.
For sure. So I think that would be one of the aspects here for Elevate, for the side of Buriram United Esports in overall perspective of their composition. Really, this composition is a little bit more balanced, right? You have that power coming in from Garchomp and Urshifu in terms of tanking capability and being that bruiser for Buriram United Esports in their composition. You have Umbreon's utility and tankiness with possibly even a main look. I feel like that would be one of the priorities here instead of the foul play. And then you have a little bit of that sustain and damage coming from Clefable and Inteleon. So overall, I think Buriram United Esports
that is one of the things that they have to take note of, because one of the key factors here is at the very least, like Elevate just needs level 4. We have the Espeon, we have the Leafeon. As I mentioned, Mimikyu is already strong. Again at level 4. Even Psyduck only is at level 5 as well, just to be useful in team fights. So really early game of Pokemon here for the set of Elevate. What they need to prevent from happening is Buriram United Esports getting in their XP, because sure, they might have the Umbreon, but at the same time, there's still the Garchomp, which would require them a little bit of babysitting, and at the same time, Urshifu, though, level 5 already enough with the Wicked Blow. But then again, there is still the what do you call this? There's still the Inteleon, which could still then provide them a little bit of time to go online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Now, Elevate at the very least is starting to reach that level 5, level 4, reach that early game power spike that we talked about a while ago. So now they're able to really maneuver around the map, look for those surprise plays, look for those surprise attacks. However, they have to capitalize on this because sooner or later, it is Buriram United Esports that will start to scale. They're just waiting for Inteleon to reach that final evolution as well as that Garchomp. And once they do, it will be game time for BRU.
Oh yeah, for sure. You said it, and here to have it. Game time. Not quite yet though, but it's still gonna be enough here. We're gonna be seeing some Shedinja shells here. Gonna be popped up. Shedinja doll rather. They're gonna be popped up here, just trying to survive. But unfortunately, there's a lot from Elevate here into the side of the central area, and they're gonna be able to take on the table as well. But of course, that allows Pokaza to survive another team fight. But as I say that, they're currently on the low as well, going in for the Moonlight as well. But here you go, another attack here coming from that Elevate. Unfortunately, going to be able to take down a lot inside of Buriram United Esports, but at least they can put them down on low HP and put down their points as well.
Mm-hmm. And now Buriram United Esports just holding their ground. At the very least, what I'm loving for the side of Elevate is that they are on a level advantage for Leafeon, for the likes of Mimikyu, and also Espeon. So in terms of that damage output, at the very least, they could be on par with BRU for now.
Oh yeah, and here you have it. Another snipe shot here going to be in from that of Inteleon, but they're going to be able to answer back as taking down that Umbreon. And now Elevate currently going to be able to secure that Registeel for themselves, as Buriram United Esports is taking down that Regieleki up top for themselves solo without any contest. And now Elevate Esports, Elevate is going to be able to destroy the first Skull down bottom, but they're going to be a little bit too late here to take down the Regieleki. A little bit of a handshake here for both of the teams, but at least Garchomp is currently at level 9 now, really going to be ready to help down the teams on the team fights. And now, here we have it. Central Burst is going to be the start of this. Ebon Fist is going to be popped up as well, as SGTZ is going to be helping down as well, but Disable is going to be popped up here. The Leaf is going to be taken down as well. And now, just tries to, go back a little bit, take down the bird, and defend the first Skull up top.
Yeah. Now, Buriram United Esports, shockingly enough, right? We mentioned this a while ago. When Garchomp reaches the final evolution, when Inteleon reaches that point, that final evolution comes through, Buriram United Esports will start to hunt. And now they did. They get that tier 1 goal zone. But fortunately enough, Elevate with BRU focusing down in the bottom lane, they still find the tier 1 goal zone on top side as well.
It's quite a, what do you call this? Like a huge thing that the Mimikyu was able to use Play With Me into that of the Garchomp just to stop it. And then as Garchomp was trying to go a little bit closer because, I can't beat them if I don't go any closer. And, Espeon using Psyshock just made sure the Garchomp eats every single orb. And from there on out, take them out as well in the process. But look at that, though. Unfortunately for Rainy Day, they're not going to be able to take down the Mimikyu. It was very close, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely is very close. For Buriram United Esports, they're still at the lead in terms of point system, but it's very minute. It's only a difference of 12 points in favor for them. So now they still have to keep on fighting. They still have to be on par up against Elevate here, as Tempest has that info that they're going for the red. Yeah.
Right, Gravity. Oh, look at that. Another one here. Sky is going to be popped out as well into that of the Moonlight hands as well at the Snipe Shop. Again, look at the damage into, what do you call this? Into that of the Leafeon. Almost going to be taken out. Never mind. It's actually going to be taken out here by Ayaka with that of the Snipe Shop once again. And Sida going to be able to take down that Garchomp as well in the process. 2v1 though in favor of Buriram United Esports, as they were able to take down that Reggie Bottom and of course forced to pull back Elevate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So now Buriram United Esports just holding their ground so far for now. And I think I'm loving what I'm seeing. He's thinking about going for that sneak dunk into the bottom pad. However, you still have that side deck that you have to think about. BRU though and Elevate, has eyes on the Reggie Alecki. So that is still also something that can give them that bit of an edge later down the road if ever they want to go for that objective, if ever they want to go for that pressure up against each other.
I just noticed as well that the Mimikyu is not actually running in Trick Room, but instead is running in Shadow Sneak, just to be able to, be on the front line, I guess, just to try to initiate some team fights as well. But with that being said, though, we're gonna be seeing, Leafeon gonna be able to take down that Garchomp, which is, I guess, one of the biggest threats here for the side of Elevate. But with that being said, though, they're gonna be able to answer back with a KO of their own. That is gonna be Espen going down as well, and again, in a Jair absence, Psyduck is really an annoying one for the side of Buriram United Esports, especially that it keeps on using Disable. And the thing is, Buriram United Esports is always together, with the team. So, like Disable is being used to all of them, or I guess passing through all of the teammates because they're all together.
For sure. And now we'll see though what Elevate and Buriram United Esports would do, because right now Reggie Rock will be the priority here by BRU, with the Reggie like he's still pushing on top side of the map. So really BRU is not giving anything from Elevate, is not giving any opportunities for Elevate to pretty pincer and pierce down Buriram United Esports' composition and their foundation of maneuvering around the map. 20 seconds left though for Rayquaza to come up, and Buriram United Esports already have a good position.
Right, and here we have it as well. Rayquaza, as I mentioned, only 50 seconds left, as Buriram United Esports is currently in the lead in terms of XP because, like level 14 currently, that is Urshifu, and I believe Garchomp is almost there as well to get that level 14. So maybe one more KO or one more wild Pokemon is going to be enough for them to take them out. And look at this, Ayaka currently have access to that of Azure Spy Vision. Elevate does recognize this. That's why they are a little bit too far away from that of the Rayquaza. That just gives a bit of an advantage. A position advantage is that of Buriram United Esports going to this Rayquaza, and now guessing the Moonlight here. Ayaka as well, trying to get some information without using its Azure Spy Vision. But with that being said, though, as they are using a Snipe Shot, Tempest already half HP. Almost taken out. Alright, now he's getting popped out as well.
Very low already, but they're still going and regenning his HP for Tempest. So far, so good. But Buriram United Esports is able to access the back lines here. It's a 5v5. Umbreon is very low, so they have to be wary of that.
And there you have it. Playmaker is getting popped out. Vinner Press is getting popped out as well. And just like that, going to be able to take down 3 in the process, as Miniva is still nowhere to be found, but now is on the team fight, but it's currently alone. There's going to be 4 down to the Elevate, and just like that, Buriram United Esports team wipe. That is Elevate, and now securing that Rayquaza. I don't think it is quite the good risk that they were able to take. Miva scoring in, sure, it was a good thing, but unfortunately, Miva was a little bit too late to join their team to take in that team fight against that Buriram Esports. And just like that, knowing the fact that one is not in the field, not in the Rayquaza pit, Buriram United Esports is able to take advantage of that and make sure that they will take down Elevate, and just like that, taking them all out except that of Miva. And when Miva came in, well, they're alone. We have 5 of us. They're gonna be able to take down that Leafeon.
And now Buriram United Esports with the Rayquaza being taken away from themselves and taking that objective. This will put them at a massive lead. 600 points gained already, and BRU will take game 1 of the series.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, all turns alike. It is Buriram United Esports taking the win against that of Elevate in, honestly, a very dominating fashion all throughout the match. Elevate really needs to elevate their game match going into game number 2 if they do want to get a win. As we have mentioned earlier, even if you win 2-1, you're still going to be able to get in 3 points. And this match is very detrimental for them as well, because again, like Buriram United Esports, we have to remind everyone, is currently at the top of the leaderboards of the rankings, so they can make some mistakes here. Obviously, they're not going to do that. They want to increase their points, but Elevate, though, currently at the last place, they still need some points here to catch up.
For sure. And now Buriram United Esports having the first win of the series enables them to take that point advantage, bringing them into a match point up against Elevate. We all know how this affects Elevate's chances to reach the top 8 position, to go into the playoffs and have that chance to leaderboard. If you're a part of the top 6 to top 10, you're still not safe to reach the top 8 position, because anytime, if you're gonna think about it, Mir and Sejong would still come up into the leaderboard because they only have like 2 wins in terms of series, they have 4 losses. But if any of these teams coming from top 5 to top 8 loses their series respectively, even one, this could shift things around. So it's really, really important to win every single one of the matches in every single series that you have from today onwards. Actually, every single one all throughout the group stages is important.
Oh no, yeah, I totally agree with you. But this time around, though, we're gonna be seeing a bit of a change, a switch up of the positions here, as Buriram Esports is going to be the one of the first pick this time around, and Elevate is going to be on the one on the right side. So definitely a big advantage into the side of Buriram Esports for the early pick. But then again, Elevate does have the last lap here for that off the draft.
Yeah, and now we're seeing the Umbreon as a priority. So now this will give the likes of Serena open. In terms of Garchomp, that's really, really strong as well. We saw how much impact it does. The Snorlax, it will be open as well for either BRU or Elevate to pick up. But so far, Elevate prioritized the Blissey alongside the Mimikyu.
I think we're going to be seeing a bit of the same kind of composition as earlier, just adjusted a little bit, knowing seeing how we still have the Mimikyu. But then again, into the side of Buriram Esports, though, first time for today, that is the Blaziken that we're going to be seeing alongside a very prioritized pick for the day, that is, and yesterday really, that is the Mewtwo Y.
Yeah, Mewtwo Y is still very strong. The Blaziken fits in really well as one of the boosters, similar to how Urshifu works. Blaziken has that capability as well to deal sufficient amount of damage and to be a little bit tanky all throughout that fight. We mentioned this a while ago that Garchomp will still be open, and since Elevate has not picked it up, BRU will have that option and have that opportunity to pick it up for themselves.
And now, Buriram Esports just needs one more bruiser, I'd say. Yeah, the one more bruiser and one more support, and that is going to be the Garchomp. And so yeah, there we go. So Fable is going to be the name of the game here. Definitely a huge support here into the side of Buriram Esports. Moonlight, and allowing this Garchomp still become the Garchomp that it is. SCG is the Garchomp earlier, and now it's still going to be wreaking havoc in this game.
Yeah, for sure. And just having this type of setup, I think I'm liking at least how Elevate is adjusting things. Right, Mamoswine, we saw its effect, its capability to go in and bring isolated fights to your teammates is very strong with that Ice Fang. And then you also have Machamp, which is not really that strong coming down into the early game, but it scales really well. So Elevate is banking on the capability that Mimikyu and Espeon could buy time coming into the first couple of minutes into the matchup, wherein matchup will need to go and farm consistently for the first few minutes. And once that occurs, that is when they could start looking for those plays, looking for those surprise attacks.
I mean, honestly, I don't really think that Machamp would be able, as what you mentioned, I don't think they're going to be able to do a lot of damage. I think it will still boil down to Espeon and Mimikyu, mainly because Machamp, right? Sure, it has close combat. It does have dynamic punch, but I think where it lies, the maximum potential of this Pokemon is when you use submission. Just like Ice Fang, it can reposition an opponent, right? Allowing your teammates to fully do their attacks. But then again, Cross Chop isn't as strong as it used to on day one. So we might be able to see close combat. And another thing that can be and should be utilized here from Machamp is Barrage Flow, its Unite move, which can push down opponents and provide a lot of damage. But then again, for them to be able to do that, as I mentioned, they need to farm a lot. They need to take out a lot of catch down wild Pokemon so that they can get their Unite charge as early as possible.
Yeah. But what I mean with the matchup as well is the capability of the utilities, right? So it's just really strong in terms of that suppression and hindrances that it can provide for the whole team. And that is the reason why I mentioned reaching that final evolution, it just enables them to really just roam around the map and just look for that engaged place. But yeah, I do definitely agree with you. Mimikyu and Espeon would still be that main damage dealer dependency for the side of Elevate in this specific game. And pretty much, I think it's all eggs in one basket this time around for Elevate. If they do not win this, well, BRU is already on match point.
Oh no, yeah, and they are also the one who has the first points, and it seems as if Elevate is going to be pincered here by Buriram and Esports. Look at that, Pupaza came out of nowhere, gonna be able to take down that what we call this Chansey, still in the Blissey, a Chansey. There we go. And gonna be able to put in some scores. 5v4. It's gonna be the name of the game here, as the Mimikyu is now trying to get their seal away central area. But the thing is, I think they're gonna be caught up here. But then again, there is the Piles one still ready to action up. Neva was able to steal away one, no, make that two now, as they were able to get down that violet buff here down bottom, coming in from that of a GSSEGC. It's really hard to say his name.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, but nevertheless, Buriram United Esports at this stage is now just roaming around the map looking for capabilities onto engaging up against Elevate. Is very dangerous for Tempest, brings him down for a KO. Buriram United Esports, this is what they want coming down from this early game, especially considering that they already have that Blaziken, they already have B2Y at a significant XPN level already, and Umbreon expectedly having that main look at this stage would be really sufficient enough to make those plays happen.
And I do like the fact that Elevate knew that they have to delay Buriram United Esports because the Garchomp, once become the Garchomp, was the biggest threat in their team, even in being number one. So taking away their resources, their central area buff, is allows them to buy them a bit more time against our Buriram United Esports, because again, the more that they can delay them, the more that they can answer back against them. But now Elevate does have the lead in terms of points, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they do have the lead in terms of the objectives. As we can see here, Buriram United Esports not only was able to take down the Reggie, gonna be able to take down the Reggie Electri, but also was able to take down that Reggie bottom as well. And there we have it. Buriram United Esports, just like what happened in game number one, is now putting up the pressure against that of Elevate, and we have a pause. I'm not entirely sure why yet.
I love how you're
part of the moves, dude. Is that a part of the move?
I love how you're ramping up in terms of the cast, and then you have a pause. No,
yeah, I mean, look, it's not a part of the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the what do you call this? The update as to why there is a pause. And again, pause rules. Only okay. Never mind. We're going back. I don't have time to say the rules. Okay, I see.
But yeah, you had the Reggie Electri now pushing forward in favor for Buriram United Esports on top side, and now Garchomp, with that said and done, is now able to really roam around the map and trying to go into either the bottom side and help his teammates out, or deny the Mimikyu onto that defense. So we'll see, because this is a 5v4 if ever Garchomp comes through.
Oh yeah, and here you have it, the Garchomp, as you have just mentioned, that is going to be a 5v3 now, and the Piloswine is going to be taken down as well. Piloswine still at level 7 at 6-minute mark, and the Blissey as well still does not have Bliss assistance. Unfortunate for the side of Elevate, because they wanted Buriram United Esports to be the one delayed, but instead they are the one delayed. Even the Machamp Blank is still at level 8.
Yeah, and now Elevate is still lacking that behind. Only a 6-point difference here, so not as big as we could see from the prior game, wherein Buriram United Esports was definitely able to really just push out a little bit further of an edge up against our enemy team. But that is what we're talking about. Matchup already reached that final evolution, so in terms of the utility, it's a little bit too much for BRU to handle, so they have to take note of where matchup is.
The Infinite Cyvern was used as well, Bliss assistance into Blank at this time, at the very clutch moment, the very clutch timing. Elevate was able to get their power spikes as well at level 9, at level 10. Just enough for them to get their unite moves up as well. So really amazing play here coming from that Elevate Esports was able to see their resources up and running and counter attack Buriram United Esports as soon as possible. But with that being said, the Buriram United Esports does have the positional advantage against the Reggie Ice, and Elevate won't be able to answer back as they are now heading up top for that Reggie Lecky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Elevate is having full control over it already. So United Esports, I don't think they have enough time to be able to contest this. They have the Espion already with it alongside with the matchup. So Regia like will be in favor for Elevate, and this will put a little bit of that pressure against Buriram United Esports. But so far, it's still 4 minutes into the matchup. Rainy D in danger.
Oh, rainy D indeed. That is the weather coming into the side of Buriram United Esports, just like that against that of the Mimikyu. But with that being said, though, it is going to be the guard chomp going to be able to repel away that Reggie Eleki alone, mind you, because it can and it will. And just like that, Elevate Esports, Elevate rather, is trying to look for more ways for them to catch up against that of Buriram United Esports and taking down as much resources as possible against BRU. With that being said, though, Buriram United Esports trying to do a lot here, trying to do a little bit of what do you call this? A stoppage into the side of Elevate as they try to look for more Pokemon to take down and get their XPs. As we can see here, Elevate does have the lead in terms of XP in comparison to what happened in game number 1. And just like that, Papaza gonna be almost taken out here by Miva and Blank, but still was able to live another day.
Now Elevate a little bit in danger here, but they're still able to fight back. Garchomp will be KO'd by Elevate. And at this point, this is what we fear for the likes of Buriram United Esports. Matchup is just dominating and shredding away every single team fight that Elevate is currently starting, and Buriram United Esports still not able to find any course to be able to alleviate some of this point disadvantage that Elevate was able to secure.
Now, Buriram United Esports currently in the deficit. Mimikyu already now at level 14 as well. But at the same time, on BRU, we have a level 13 Pokemon. But the question is, would that be enough to answer back against that of Elevate? They're going to be able to secure that of Reggie Ice, as the Reggie likely is going to be coming up as well. But the thing is, would they be able to have enough time to take it out? That is the big question. But Blank, though, trying to take down the Reggie Lucky for themselves, for their own team alone. Now Blank is joining them up top.
And now Reggie Lucky will be taken down by Elevate. This is really massive because Reggie Lucky reached tier 2 goal zone. It means that Elevate could just sneak themselves into that tier 2 goal zone and gain another 100 points. So Buriram United Esports has to stand someone to defend here, but Elevate can't start up the Rayquaza.
Now Elevate, because they have the Reggie Lucky, they know it can see on their minimap that the Garchomp is taking down that Reggie Lucky. But now, with that being said, they are now going to try to initiate a team fight, going to be able to take down the Blaziken as well. And look at that, there's still no Livid Outrage. And they are now going to be using Livid Outrage just to catch up into the team fight, but unfortunately not going to be enough. And now they are on the lead. They need to buy a lot of time here for their teammates to get back up into that other Rayquaza pit. And now Blaziken is now up again, but Rayquaza currently at half HP. The question is, would they be able to answer back? Would they be able to steal this away from Elevate? Look at that, Twister's going to be popped out as well. Play with me into used by the Mimikyu, but here we go. Buriram United Esports, they were able to buy some time for the team, and now they were able to answer back against Elevate, taking down Tree in the process, and now scoring in them points.
A wonderful takedown by Buriram United Esports on that objective. And I think there was a little bit of that hesitance coming in from Elevate that really dissuaded them onto taking that Rayquaza. Because the thing is, Umbreon was already down and there's not enough damage. It was only Mewtwo that has that threat up against Elevate into that Rayquaza objective takedown. So it's really unfortunate that they were a bit hesitant all throughout on that fight and just looking and focus fired their priorities onto the Umbreon instead.
I'd say that both of them actually did a bit of we're a bit hesitant going to the Rayquaza because we saw how Elevate was able to diminish the HP of of Rayquaza, right? going into the half health, but then after getting into the half health, they kind of stopped. As you said, they kind of hesitated, both of them really, because they didn't know whether to, okay, would we attack the other team first, or would we what do you call this, burst down the Rayquaza. Both of them had a bit of a lag, had a bit of a delay into thinking which decision they would take. But at the end of the day, though, Buriram Esports was able to take down the Rayquaza, then take down Elevate as well, gaining them 2-0 in the process.
Yeah, it definitely is. So the wonderful finisher coming from Buriram United Esports. It can go either way, honestly. Elevate was
Game 2, yeah.
Yeah, Elevate was sustaining their lead, even if it was only by a couple of points, 6 points. But nevertheless, like, it could have been anyone's game. Elevate was in the nick of that opportunity already, was on the precipice of taking that Rayquaza, but Buriram United Esports, oh my word, it was so good how they bought enough time for themselves, bought enough time for Garchomp and Mewtwo to find that angle to pierce through onto that objective.
Can I just say though, in the defense